These are all the ZD Toys figures that I have. Iron Man Mark 1 to Mark 6, Iron Man Mark 85, War Machine Mark 6, and the Hulkbuster 2.0. I used to have Thanos, Professor Hulk, and Rescue, but I've already let go of those. And I am making this video to share with you the reasons why I am stopping to collect ZD Toys figures. First up, just a little bit history about ZD Toys. When they first surfaced in 2018 or 19, I think there were quite a few people, including myself, that thought that it was kind of like a bootleg or knockoff. But eventually, they were kind of declared to be officially Marvel licensed. But the thing is that there isn't any website or anywhere that you can find more information about the ZD Toys company itself. If anyone has any links to more information about ZD Toys company itself, do share it in the comments. And anyways, ZD is short for Chongdong, I think that's how you pronounce it. And the first reason that I'm selling it is the size. The ZD Toys figures are mostly 1/10 scale, which is more towards Marvel Select size, around 7 inch instead of the 1/12 scale of the Marvel Legends figures. So as a Marvel Legends collector, I would rather stick to 6 inch scale rather than 7 inch. And on the flip side, the figure that is supposed to be bigger isn't big enough. This is the 10th year anniversary Hulkbuster and the Smart Hulk BAF, and both of them are taller than the ZD Toys Hulkbuster 2.0. The only one that scales well with the Marvel Legends is the ZD Toys Mark 1. It really scales well with the Marvel Legends Iron Man. And the Marvel Legends Mark 1 that we got is really just pure nonsense. It's really small. Even in the 10th year anniversary, Hasbro didn't make a newer one and just reused the undersized one from the Iron Man movie series. But for the Mark 1, it is kind of small when you compare it with the other Iron Man ZD Toys figures. They are about the same height. So to me, this is the only one that really scales well with Marvel Legends. And this is the only one that I'm actually keeping from the whole lot that I've just shown you. The next reason why I'm stopping is the articulation. The earlier figures actually have really bad joint cuts. Look at the ZD Toys Smart Hulk elbow and knee joints. The cut on the joint is really kind of squarish and really doesn't look good. Same goes for this Hulkbuster 2.0. Look at that. The joint cut is really rectangular-ish. And the articulation isn't that much even though it is a double hinge knee joint. Look at the elbow joint. When I bend it, look at the sharp corner here. So yeah, the earlier figures really had poor joint cuts. The newer one is actually okay. It definitely improved in terms of the articulation and also the joints. It looks so much better, just like Marvel Legends. But one thing that didn't improve is the mid-torso joint. Look at that. Barely any movement at all. You can't even rotate it unless you really force it, and then I think the plastic will be out of shape. So yeah, look at the amount of articulation on the torso. It's the same for this Mark 85, which is one of the first few Iron Man figures that ZD Toys did. The torso on the Marvel Legends at least works. Can rotate and a bit of sideways movement and more range of movement back and forth as well. But of course, I'm sure those who do toy photography will be able to make do with whatever level of articulation that ZD Toys offers. But for me, I just simply prefer Marvel Legends articulation. And also, for other ZD Toys figures like this Venom and Carnage, the articulation on them is also poor. They don't even have any joints on the torso. And they probably don't have much range of movement on the elbow and knee joints as well. So yeah, articulation on ZD Toys in general isn't that great. Next, just like other import toy lines, those figures that have the chrome paintwork are bound to have fading chrome, and there's no exception to that for ZD Toys. These two figures are the longest that I've had since 2019, I think. So over the 4 years, these two figures has not been exposed to sunlight or anything, and yet there is still fading on the chrome paintwork. Not too obvious in the video, but there is discoloration at the arms and also the legs. The red paintwork is slightly lighter compared to the torso. Here you can see the difference in shade of red. It doesn't look so bad in video, but when you have the figure in hand, it really is obvious. Same goes for the Hulkbuster 2.0. Mostly on the torso is all okay. More of fading at the forearm and also the feet. Look at that. It's really pale red, almost to the point of pink compared to the top of the legs. Like I said, not too obvious in the video, but when you have the figure in hand, it's really obvious the fading at some parts of it. And I'm not sure how to solve this. I think you can spray some sort of sealant to prevent this from happening. I used to have some figure Iron Man figures before I sold all of them away before the fading gets worse. I'm not sure if the new figures have better paintwork quality, but yeah, this has only been about 1 year or so compared to these two, which has been around for 4 years. And I wouldn't want to risk this fading, so I'd rather sell them off now. And yeah, I'm just going to keep the Mark 1 like I've said earlier. Next reason is that these figures actually feel fragile, just like other import toy lines. Like if I were to drop this to the floor by accident, I really feel that it's gonna break like some parts of it. When you compare it with Marvel Legends figures, you know it's still going to be okay if you were to drop it. So yeah, you really got to be careful when handling these figures. And this figure is actually really kind of feels a bit hollow compared to the more solid Marvel Legends figures. I would rather just keep to Marvel Legends figures so I don't have to be overly worried about accidentally breaking my figures. And lastly, not really a deal breaker for most of you guys, but for me, packaging does matter a bit because I do keep the packaging for this sort of figures. And the packaging isn't consistent. The earlier figures have the rectangularish tissue box kind of packaging. And then they moved on to this sort of like Figart or Mayfax kind of packaging. And the funny thing about this is that some of these figures actually have two different sort of packaging. And then for the Iron Man figure especially, they moved on to having this sort of packaging, which actually looks kind of premium and it really does look good. I mean, look at the shine on this Mark II packaging. It's really awesome. But the thing is that they keep changing the picture on the packaging. I actually thought this looks good with the Iron Man picture up close and then having the arc reactor right at the torso where it should be. But then for Mark IV, they have the Iron Man picture on the left. For Mark V and 6, they have it on the right. And these two are similar. Same goes for the Mark I, having similar packaging to Mark V and 6. I kind of wish they would be more consistent so that it really looks good when they are all lined up together. And at the side, again, it is inconsistent. Mark II and 3 just have the word on it. Mark IV, it is bigger. And then Mark V has the picture of the Iron Man itself, with Mark V having it standing up and Mark 6 and 1 having it sideways. And on the other side, again, it's inconsistent. And for Mark 5, 6 and 1, they have the authenticity sticker at the side. But for the earlier version, Mark 2 and 3, it is at the back. And talking about the back, Mark 4, 5 and 1 definitely looks better with all the pictures of the figures compared to Mark 2, 3 and 4, which has more Chinese words and just one picture of the Iron Man figure. And just a little bit about the authenticity sticker. Even the earlier figures have the sticker, but it is stated as Marvel. Here's the War Machines sticker. But for the newer ones, it is actually Disney. So yeah, and then they have this other sticker as well, Zhongdong Toy. So yeah, those stickers really does make these figures look legit. Even though like I said earlier, there really isn't any website or anything whereby we can find more information about ZD Toys. Now, some reasons why you would want to collect ZD Toys. First off is definitely the price. Compared to Mayfax, Figart or Figma or any other toy lines, ZD Toys is definitely way cheaper, costing just slightly more than Marvel Legends figures. Some of the Iron Man figures have light-up versions and they cost a little bit more. But yeah, as a whole, they definitely cost way cheaper than other import toy lines. And talking about the lights, one good thing about the light function is that they are charged by USB. So you don't have to face any problem about corroded batteries or whatnot. This has been with me for 4 years and no problem with the lights. For this Hulkbuster 2.0, it uses the micro USB port. Basically, it is better than using batteries. Next reason that you should collect is that the packaging actually does look cool. Even though the Iron Man figures here are not consistent, there is a premium feel to it. Most of the packaging is glossy, and for these Iron Man figures, it is magnetic. And there is one more layer of cover, which is this. And then the figure is inside on an in tray. The packaging of the other characters also look good. And one last reason that I want to share why you would want to collect ZD Toys is that the sculpt and the details on it is really good. When you compare the arc reactor, for example, look at how intricate the arc reactor is. And the metallic circuit under the neck. They are really sculpted well. Here's the back of the figure, And for ZD Toys, it's actually really rare that they have any paint blemishes, you know, unlike Marvel Legends. Look at this arc reactor of my Mark III. It's even off center. So if you're not really into making extremely dynamic poses for your figures, these ZD Toys figures are actually quite good. In vanilla pose and some simple poses, they already look awesome. So those are my reasons why I want to stop collecting ZD Toys. And I also shared some good reasons why you would want to collect ZD Toys. Do share your thoughts about this toy line and check out my other videos at my channel.